Well, the phone hacking scandal has now spread to the United States, where it's just become part of a lawsuit against News Corporation by a group of shareholders. And tonight, Rupert Murdoch's biographer is reporting that executives are considering selling off all News Corp's UK newspapers. Michael Wolff joins us now live from New York. Mr. Wolff, is that really a possibility, that the old newspaper man will end his career shorn of everything he ever believed in?
I think the larger point is that everything is a possibility now. This is a company as far as I can tell, in outright panic. They don't know what to do. I don't think that they've ever faced this kind of situation before. Plus, this kind of situation, which really is about facing a public, about contrition, about explaining themselves, really involves a whole set of abilities that News Corp does not have. Rupert Murdoch does not explain himself ever to anyone. He meets power with power. He just doesn't have the power to face this situation anymore.
Well, do people over in America really understand quite how serious this is? I mean, they obviously know who the Queen is. Well, her phone's been sold to one of Rupert Murdoch's papers. 3 out of 4 of his papers got into things belonging to the former Prime Minister, Gordon Brown. I mean, will that shock people in America, or is that par for the course?
Yeah, actually, you know, this scandal has been going on in the UK for almost 5 years, and with very little interest to people in the US. For people in the US, this scandal literally started last week. So there's a lot of catching up, a lot of people trying to understand what's going on. But I think for everyone, for shareholders, for people in the media, for people on the News Corp board of directors, I'm sure, for other executives within the company, there is this immediate sense that something incredibly grave has happened here. So a rush to understand it, to figure it out, and to assess the implications for News Corporation in the U.S., for the business, and for the family.
Well, let me take you back to something you just said, which is that Rupert Murdoch doesn't explain himself. He meets power with power. This side of the Atlantic, that power has evaporated. He has no purchase whatever on the political classes. It doesn't seem he has much purchase on the police any longer, because they're now squealing like dogs. So what has he got to fight with when he returns to the Big Apple?
Well, remember, he's not fighting that bad. The battles that he's fighting in the UK, he's not quite fighting here yet. So
although he's got a court action, he's got a court action, and he's got a sinking share price and a very unhappy bunch of shareholders.
Absolutely, but and I think the question is what happens. You know, one shareholder suit. Let's see if there's other shareholder suits, which I believe that there will be. So I think the answer to your question is in 2 parts. It's not there yet. It's not at the point. What's happening in the UK is not happening in the US yet. Could it happen? Could he be in a situation, the same situation in the US that he is in the UK? Absolutely. And I think it is happening. It will catch up with him. The very simple fact is that he has, or people named Murdoch have lost their entire credibility when it comes to dealing with these issues. You can't run a major company if you have no credibility.
In a word, Michael Wolff, from a biographer's perspective, is this endgame?
Geez, you know, you put a biographer in a very difficult position, because we don't necessarily want the story to end. But I would say Rupert Murdoch is in more trouble than he has ever been in. And yes, I don't necessarily think there is a way out this time.